Okay, so let's see. What we're going to do here is before, remember, we saw that there was a good chance that there's variation coming from the time dimension. So I think I kind of lost people on that point. So we're going to dive a little deeper, and that'll be the focus before we kind of keep going. So I'm going to have another file here for you to run, and you'll have to import that. There are instructions back on the Wolf Den to do so. But once you get this file, and all of these lines should look familiar. If they don't, then you need to go back and look at uh, previous videos. But what I want you to do is run the first cell. That's all the preliminaries, load the data, all that kind of stuff. And then what we're going to do is we're going to explore these time dimensions. And so the first step in looking at time dimensional space is actually, and I think it's the most powerful way, is to just plot out what we want to look at over time. And actually, by doing so, we're going to discover all kinds of patterns. Your eye is incredibly good at recognizing patterns. Um, and so we start right there. And if you remember in class, we talked about this new method, which was trying to use conditionals. So we're going to leverage conditionals, these ands, nots, equal tos, all these things. And we're going to leverage it using the LOC, this loc method. So I've given you some syntax about how to put conditionals into data frames. And what you should do actually is run through this next block of code line by line. So you should have this open in your own computer and run this line by line. What you see is the step one will be to actually just create a column that's true if the condition is met and false if otherwise. So in this condition, I have the data frame brand. You notice I put this in parentheses, the whole condition. I said the data frame brand is an equal. I have to use two equal signs, adult cola. So it's going to be adult cola, and I also want it to be another condition, so another parenthesis, equal to where the capacity is equal to 1.5 liter. So since it has and, that means it'll be all adult cola is 1.5 liter. And what this will return is a column of trues and falses. So let's just go put another line of code above this, paste it in here, and run it. And just so you can kind of see what's going on, you really should run all of these line by line so you can see it's just a column of trues and falses. Like I was saying, it's true if the condition's true and false if not. And so what we can do then is embed that conditional inside. So we have our data frame, which is all of our data, and we're going to use this loc method, this dot loc, and we're going to put it in brackets and then throw our conditional in here. And if we do this, what we get is actually the entire data frame wherever this condition is true. So it'll be across the rows. For whichever row this condition is true, it'll return the whole data frame. Remember, it's true where we have adult cola 1.5 liters. So when I run this, this is the whole data frame for all the adult cola 1.5 liter we have across all the cities and everything, just so you see how this is all working. So what I'm going to do actually, since there's a couple of ways, I could just, you'll see, we can actually just, keep this whole block of code and plug this in whenever we need it. Or another option is we can take this block of code and then just define another data frame. Here I defined a AC underscore 15 is equal to all this. So that's another option. And then after we define, so if we define a block, this AC underscore 15 is equal to this condition, then what I can do is I can just run group by or whatever I want on that, no problem. And so that's kind of it. That's the loc method. And we're going to use this throughout the next videos.